So you asked me to do this. I don't necessarily like speaking about this time because this was a dark time as a wrestling fan and just as a human being. But you asked me for my 10 favorite or the 10 best, however you want to name it, pandemic era / Thunderdome era matches. So when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, WWE tried to still put on shows, so they did it in an empty arena. They did it with like the screen fans, all of those kinds of things. Was it great? No. Were they still trying to entertain us? Yes. Okay, so let's get into my list of my 10 favorite or the 10 best WWE pandemic era or Thunderdome, whatever you want to call it, Performance Center era matches. Number 10 is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series 2020. So this was when they did the champion versus the champion. The World Heavyweight Champion, or what was it at that time? The WWE Champion versus the Universal, whatever the two titles were. And this had a legitimate big match feel. This was one of those where you could feel something was about to go down. And this is what I believe it's Big E that said, big meaty men slapping man meat. That was what this match was about. Number 9, I'm just going to get the participants here. It was the 2021 Elimination Chamber match, and it was Cesaro, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Daniel Bryan. You put this group of guys together. I mean, Cesaro, he can work. Daniel Bryan, legend. KO, Sami, they are going to do the high spots. Then you've got Jey Uso, who at this point was very highly pushed, and Corbin to take some of the big bumps, and he's the power guy. You put these guys in a ring together and you're going to get magic. And Daniel Bryan as the underdog winner was just the perfect ending to this. Number 8 is Drew versus Sheamus, and I believe it was 1st of March 2021, and this was in Raw. So Sheamus and Drew had a lot of matches during this time against each other, but out of the bunch, I believe this one was the best. So the two of them, whenever you put them in a match together, you're always going to get electrifying match. Now this one had a special place in my heart because it had the bro kick / claymore kick finish, where it was the bro kick that missed and the claymore kick that hit, and I really enjoyed that finish. Number 7 was Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. This was at WrestleMania Backlash 2021. This was Rhea Ripley's first defense of her newly won championship. Now this could have been a WrestleMania match, but unfortunately Charlotte Flair was not declared fit for WrestleMania, so they did it WrestleMania Backlash, and this match absolutely did not disappoint. You've got Asuka, who's going to go at a mile a minute. You've got Rhea, who's going to be the powerhouse, and Charlotte, who's going to be the absolute technician. And this was a really good way of showcasing this new talent that is just going to explode over the coming years, of which is Rhea Ripley. Number 6 was Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. So this was the first time when I genuinely thought Roman Reigns could actually lose. Kevin Owens felt like a legitimate contender. He did a moonsault, or not a moonsault, a swanton or senton spot off forklift. He felt like a legitimate contender. Now, should we speak about the handcuff ending where Paul Heyman had to struggle with keys and the ref had to stop counting? No, we shouldn't speak about that because that's mistakes that happen, but this was still an absolute bang of a match. Number 5 is Matt Riddle versus Xavier Woods on Raw, and I believe it was 24th of May. There we go, Raw. So this one came, when I was researching for this list, I actually rewatched this match back, and it's incredible. This was when Riddle was still trying to get Orton to be his tag team partner, and this was when Big E was no longer part of the New Day, and so it was a very fresh feeling time with Big E not being there anymore, which is a sad thing. Of course, not fresh is not always good, but it was different. And Matt Riddle trying to get Randy Orton to be his tag team partner, and these two just went absolutely ballistic. And of course, the finisher with Matt Riddle doing an RKO, kind of like hinting towards Orton. It was just fun. Number 4 is Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match at Clash of Champions for Jeff Hardy's championship. So a couple of things special about this match. This was Sami Zayn's conspiracy theory time, which I absolutely loved. There was the whole spot where Jeff's earlobe got handcuffed to the ladder, which was incredible. This was the only ladder match in the pandemic era. There was TLC matches, but this was the only ladder match. And I'm obviously not counting Money in the Bank because that's a different stipulation. I'm talking about purely a ladder match, the only one. And Jeff Hardy is arguably the greatest ladder match competitor to ever wrestle, and this will most likely be his last ever ladder match in WWE. Number 3 is Bayley versus Sasha Banks at, I believe it was Hell in a Cell 2020. Yes. So, best friends better enemies. I believe it was KO or someone that said that about him and Sami Zayn, and obviously Bailey and Sasha Banks being really good friends behind the scenes. And sometimes the best matches you get is when best friends are just absolutely destroying each other. This match had harkened back to Takeover Brooklyn, with the two of them just absolutely went chaotic on each other. Number 2 is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I just said Sami Zayn at, I believe it was 2nd of July SmackDown. I just spoke about Bailey versus Sasha Banks, and I don't need to speak about these two at all. Their rivalry from the Indies all the way to NXT, all the way to the main roster. These two, whenever you put them together in a ring, you are going to see. And at number 1 was Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for the championship on SmackDown 30th of April 2021. So I genuinely believed that Daniel Bryan could actually win this match, because if Daniel Bryan lost, he leaves SmackDown. And I thought that was just a gimmick, and he genuinely left SmackDown. So this was when I honestly thought Roman Reigns' championship was in massive, massive, massive danger. Only for me to realize that this was possibly the last time I'll see the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, the GOAT, in a wrestling ring in WWE. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me your list of your 10 favorite WWE Pandemic, Thunderdome, Empty Arena, whatever you want to call it, era matches. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.